Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your noon news and weather updates from the First Alert Desk. Now, you got a story out of Ocracoke that those of you who travel on the ferry should be very pleased with. The North Carolina Ferry Division says the Ocracoke Express, which travels the Hatteras-Ocracoke route, will operate from its summer schedule starting next Tuesday. This is the division's 7th summer operating off this schedule. Now, this year, the passenger ferry will make 8 departures during the busier days, Tuesday through Thursday, with trips from Hatteras at 8:30 a.m., 11 a.m., 1:45 p.m., and 5 p.m., and return trips from Ocracoke at 9:45 a.m., 12:30 p.m., 3 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. On Friday, Saturday, and Monday, departures from Hatteras will be at 9:30 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4:30 p.m., with return trips from Ocracoke at 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. No passenger ferry service will be available on Sundays. Now, Ferry Division Director Jed Dixon said, quote, "Passenger surveys have shown us that the Express is an extremely popular option for day trips to Ocracoke. It's the easiest and most convenient way to spend a day on Ocracoke Island," end quote. Now, according to the release, a round-trip ticket will cost $15. Children under 3 ride for free, and a $1 additional charge for bringing a bicycle. Reservations are not available. The Ocracoke Express can carry 129 passengers across the approximately 70-minute voyage. The division's full ferry schedule can be viewed and downloaded by following a link on our website, WITN.com. And now we want to highlight a story where a cow suffering from a serious eye wound and eye condition was turned over to authorities and surrendered. And that cow is now the subject of a fundraiser to help it recover. Now, the Craven County Animal Protective Services says the cow was recently surrendered to them. They say she urgently needs emergency veterinary care. Despite what she's been through, investigators say the cow remains gentle and trusting. A fund drive has been set up by Friends of Craven County Sheriff's Office to cover the cost of her treatment. To donate, you can follow a link on our website, WITN.com. And now we want to turn our attention to your weather forecast, where right now things are still feeling pretty good out there. A little bit of some cloud cover starting to flow over eastern North Carolina. It's not everywhere. In fact, let's take a look outside. This is our Greenville cam, and you can see some cloud cover off in the distance, but certainly nothing intimidating. We do have a chance of some rain showers, though, that are going to be rolling across parts of eastern North Carolina coming up later on this afternoon and evening. It's not going to be a lot. Right now, those raindrops are currently pushing their way over the triangle. Raleigh seeing, again, a little bit of some splash and dash showers. But moving forward through the rest of the day, those raindrops, again, are going to try to move into eastern North Carolina. They'll have an easier time of it coming up early tomorrow morning. That's where I think we'll have the best opportunity for seeing widespread rain across eastern North Carolina. Right now, that front, though, is set up further back towards the west, not expected to arrive here in the east until we get to well, really late tonight. Right around midnight is when most of those heavy showers and storms will start to show up. Here's what we've got outside right now in Washington, 77 degrees with a southwesterly wind at about 6 miles an hour. Beautiful blue sunny skies. Do want to say good afternoon to Jean as well as William. Thank you both so much for joining me over on Facebook. If you guys have any questions about the forecast, please feel free, throw them over on our Facebook comment section. I am keeping an eye on the comments as they roll in during our live broadcast feed. Now, current air temperatures throughout eastern North Carolina generally between the mid to upper 70s. Right now, we're seeing a few areas a little bit outside of that range. Roanoke Rapids right now, 73 degrees. Same story in Oriental. Those are the cooler spots on the map. As far as the hot spots go, right now, New Bern as well as Stumpy Point both coming in at 80 degrees. Swan Quarter currently 81 degrees. And we're only going to get hotter as we head through the rest of the day. Right now, winds generally coming in at about 4 to 8 miles an hour. We do have a 10-mile-per-hour breeze currently in Beaufort, but most areas, again, seeing that steady southwesterly breeze that will help increase the humidity across eastern North Carolina, leading to a better opportunity for showers and storms coming up really, again, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We're kind of splitting hairs here. Whenever you've got a storm system coming in right around midnight, you want to label it. Most of us will be asleep by the time these showers show up. And that's exactly what's going to happen again for tonight into tomorrow. Thunderstorms rolling in very early on in the morning. Now, do apologize if, again, any of these thunderstorms do wake you up, but hopefully, again, with the early awareness, the being first alerted to these showers and storms, maybe you'll be able to roll over and go back to bed a little bit easier once they do start coming down. Now, again, early Friday morning, I think most of the rain activity that we're going to be seeing will be along and south of Highway 264. Then later on in the day on Friday, not around lunchtime. Lunchtime is actually going to be a fairly calm period, but really late Friday afternoon, Friday evening, we'll have another band of storms start to pick up, well, not only moisture, but pick up some winds as well, possibly creating some strong gusts out of those storms. But those are going to be drifting down through eastern North Carolina, coming up for your Friday evening to Friday night. So if you miss out on the early morning rain showers to start out the day on Friday, don't worry, be patient. You'll have another round of rain coming in over the tail end of Friday. And then Saturday, right now we're looking again at fairly dry conditions, but an area of low pressure. You actually can see it dropping out of New Mexico into Texas. That low that's a little bit further back towards the west, they're falling all the way into the Gulf of Mexico. That is our next system that will promote even more rain as we head into really Sunday and Monday. It's going to set up along the Gulf Coast as we head into Saturday morning, but those frontal boundaries will start to connect, and that will help push some of that moisture you're seeing across Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia into eastern North Carolina over the tail end of the weekend. The tail end of the weekend is Mother's Day for those of you who, again, aren't paying attention. Make sure you are. That could, again, pose some problems if you've got any outdoor plans coming up for Mom on Sunday. Now, most of the rain showers that we will see on Sunday are going to be of the coastal variety. If you're watching from the beach, chances are you're probably going to be getting wet on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, more widespread rain throughout eastern North Carolina will be present. And again, air temperatures will start to come back up again. But for the weekend, 72 degrees on Saturday, certainly feeling cooler, but still, I'd argue it's still a pretty comfortable day. Air temperatures low 70s, overnight lows in the mid 50s will keep that humidity relatively low. I do want to say again, good afternoon to Mona. Thank you so much for joining us over on Facebook. But that is all we have time for today's noon news and weather update. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Again, we'll have more news and weather updates right here on the First Alert desk coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday. We'll see you back here coming up in just a little bit.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Supreme Choice.